Okay, this video, I'm going into if you have symptoms that your car is hesitating, like it's bucking a little bit. Sometimes after you get on a highway, it starts doing it. You get above 60 miles an hour. Sometimes it just does it when you first accelerate and it starts bucking and you're losing power and stuff. Now on YouTube, 99% of the people all said it was the mass airflow sensor. Okay, and that's what comes off of your air filter. Here's my air filter inside here, and this hose goes to here, and that attaches to your throttle body assembly. So your air is flowing through, and the sensor, it's a little sensor that you can pop out. It's either going to be on the main hose from your air filter, could be on top, it could be underneath. Mine was underneath this big housing that goes to the throttle body assembly here. Okay, very easy to take all this stuff apart. So anyway, they said replace your air filter, take out the sensor and spray it with the special formula put out by CRC. It's specifically for airflow sensors. They say do not use any other type of cleaners, carb cleaners, or whatever. So you take it all apart, and if you can see it right down here, that wiring harness goes to the sensor underneath here, and it will pop straight out. And inside you're going to see it's like a variable resistor in there, and that they get dirty, and then it sends a bad signal to your PCM module, and then it'll start like throwing off like the timing and everything else, the gas air mix or whatever. Yeah, there's my PCM. So it's sending a signal there, and that's what causes that bucking. Okay, some of the times, here's my point. Okay, all this stuff is easy to take apart. It takes 10 minutes at most. Take all this stuff off. You should spray with carb cleaner in your throttle body assembly and wipe out all that carbon. Open up the butterfly, spray it again, wipe it all out with a clean towel. I also replaced my air filter because I hadn't replaced it and it was really dirty. And I sprayed that special sprayer cleaner on the airflow, mass airflow sensor coming from the air filter to the carburetor. I did all that, and I still broke down. And that's, like I say, 99% of the people say that works. Okay, now what was the problem? Okay, I had the same problem, hesitation and even conking out completely. And it wound up, it was the crankshaft position sensor. Had nothing to do with any of this stuff. Now, I only had about 50 bucks into the sprays, carb cleaner, special spray for the sensor, flow sensor, new air filter. Probably only had like 40 bucks into it, and it's a 20-minute fix at most. You know, take this all apart, clean things out, put it all back together. Not a big deal, but it wound up, it was, had nothing to do with the airflow sensor. Had to do, you know, giving improper signals to the PCM or anything else. So it was the crankshaft position sensor. Now what that is, I can't go into a lot of detail. I just know that you have to get it up on a lift, and I've never done the job. It was $70 for the parts. It's basically magnets, and they get dirty or they get worn down, and they have to be either cleaned or replaced, and it's a 1-hour job approximately. So it ran me $225. Parts, brand new parts. You can clean them, save yourself 70 bucks. But I said, just what's 70 bucks? Put brand new ones in there. They're just magnets, and that affects your timing. So that's what causes the bucking a lot of times. And I had the same issue 2 or 3 years back with this same Jeep. And the mechanic just cleaned them. He didn't replace them. So 2 or 3 years later, I had the same issue. Had to get towed to a garage. Now, don't get into that highway robbery. I got towed to a place. I wasn't familiar with the area. I was driving across the country, and they didn't bring me to a dealership, a Chrysler dealership. You know, there's a Grand Cherokee. They just brought me to a regular garage, and they wanted to hit me up for a $130 diagnostic fee and another $130 for 1 hour labor. In other words, they wanted to hit me for $260 for a 1 hour job. And I flipped out. I said, no way. I said, yeah, I'm not going to pay that kind of money. And I'll file a complaint with AAA because they were listed as only 2 garages in Flagstaff were listed with AAA. I said, I'll call them up and I'll let them know about your highway robbery. I'm not going to pay $260 for 1 hour labor. The Chrysler dealer wouldn't even charge me that. They charge you like $150 an hour, which is, you know, bad enough. Your average, you know, garage, like where I brought the Jeep, you know, or the AAA brought the Jeep to, you know, typical charge is $55 an hour at most garages I go to. You know, that's an average. So anyway, that's what it was. Now there's no hesitation, no bucking, no problems doing a fast acceleration. I had nothing. I don't believe it had anything to do with the airflow sensor, air mass flow sensor, like everybody on YouTube is saying. So just in case you did all that stuff, new air filter, clean out the airflow sensor, clean out your throttle assembly on the carb. You've done everything and it's still knocking and hesitating. That doesn't seem to have the power when you really want it. It could be your crankshaft position sensor. Okay, like I say, it shouldn't cost you more than mine. It costs $225 with the parts. Okay, thought you'd all like to see that. Gives you another option if you're still having problems after doing like some very simple basic things, you know, with the spray cans, you know, cleaning things out and stuff. The other thing you can do, okay, they say you only use the mass flow air sensor spray from CRC. Don't use anything else. Now here's a trick. If you don't have that right on you at the time, when I took it out, I saw one side of the, looks like a resistor in there, and one side was really dirty. So I didn't have that special spray. So what I used was a nylon toothbrush. There's a little opening and you can see a little resistor inside there. And I just used the toothbrush and cleaned it all off. Just for a temporary thing, you know, fix. So that might help you in a bind. Just a simple nylon toothbrush. Just try to clean out some of that dirt and carbon buildup and stuff. Because what's going on is you got a lot of stuff going on through here, this exhaust type system here from your airflow and all that, and the sensor's right in line with that, and one side of it will get dirty. So that would be a quick fix if that's your issue, just with the toothbrush, until you can get some of the spray and really spray it out good. Okay, that's about it for this episode. Hope you found that useful. This is Eagle Eric. I do primarily camping videos. I like, I'm retired now and I camp cross-country camping. And I run everything remotely on solar systems. Got 600 watts up on the top and I've got another 425 watts on the ground. So I've got a kilowatt of power, which runs everything in a typical home. I basically got everything you can imagine inside that trailer, just like you'd have in your home. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and everything's running off of solar, or almost everything. Propane also. Propane runs my refrigerator, and off a 12-volt battery system, and it also runs my stove, 3-burner stove, and my furnace runs off of propane. So you can be boondock camping for a long time. I put a double tank in here double 30-pound tank. A lot of trailers only have one 20-pound tank. But I do welding, so I welded in a special bracket so I could get two 30-pound tanks. So I can stay out like 3 times longer camping out in the middle of nowhere before I have to go in for supplies and stuff. So anyway, shouldn't get sidetracked here. Anyway, I hope that helped as far as if you got a knocking or loss of power at certain speeds, it could be your crankshaft position sensor. Might sound scary and expensive, but not really. It's just the magnets, they get dirty or misaligned. And apparently, at least on my Jeep, it was a very easy job, 1 hour job. Up on the lift, they get to it, put in the new ones. Okay, that's about it. Eagle Air signing off.